Multimedia is one of those computer buzzwords everyone seems to use, but no one seems to understand. At simplest, it's combining sound and vision, music and graphics, video and text inside a computer, often for eventual use elsewhere. Common wisdom says it's the future, but after looking at what's been done so far, common sense says we've still got a way to go. Okay, so there are some games out there that are quite imaginative, but we still seem to be a long way short of the PC equivalent of a Da Vinci or a Mozart. The most popular game I see people playing these days is the infamous bloodletter Doom, about as artistic as a chainsaw. Maybe it's because until now multimedia has been dominated by computer experts, not artists. To fully take advantage of the great possibilities of this stuff, we're going to have to train people at home not just with technology, but with creative ways of using them. And that's going to take a revolution in education. In Denmark, an experiment in fast-tracking multimedia designers is being tried with interesting results. Instead of concentrating on technology, it puts people in first place, and the more varied their background, the better. These are the Space Invaders. And this is how you become one. Instead of impressing with your programming skills, the invaders need to show they can think creatively, alone and in groups, have a sense of humour, adapt to change, and most of all, use their imagination. This year, only 28 students can be invaders. They come from many backgrounds and range in age from 20 to 42. Some have had absolutely no experience with computers before, and others have been using them for years. There are unemployed and architects, postmen and programmers. It doesn't matter what they are, as long as they have a desire to master this exciting new field. Once in, they'll begin a 10-month course, which will give them a rapid exposure to important design programs, 2 and 3D modelling, video, music, and interesting ways of combining them.
That's how music should sound.
Jeg vil gerne være med. Er nogen af jer, der ikke vil være med? Hvis I siger det, så tror jeg ikke på det. Jeg tror ikke på det. Du vil gerne være meget med. Du vil gerne være meget med.
Often they'll turn the screens off and listen to fascinating guest lecturers who open up their minds to new possibilities. In this case, a famous Danish science writer describing his recent road tour of America's information highway.
We'll send in the next patient.
They learn some pretty interesting things here, like how to use 2 computers with one hand. Don't try this at home. Later, they'll spend several weeks in one of the many companies eager to take the invaders on board for short-term work experience. Or they'll join the Mouse House, the group of former students and colleagues now making commercial applications from what they've learned.
I'm in here all the time. I seldomly go home until 12 o'clock in the evening. Sometimes it's 2 in the morning or 3.
It's a very inspiring environment to work in.
It makes me to use all of my capacity to thinking.
I think the aim is to be able to create better lives.
The powerhouse behind the Mouse House and the Space Invaders is its young principal and founder, Carolina Olsen.
We're teaching our own generation. I'm younger than most of my students, and I think that makes an environment that's quite different from an ordinary education. The students come out as more whole people. They like what they do, and they like the products that they can create.
It's a test designed to provoke an emotional response.
What we concentrate mostly on is creativity.
Last year, Norm McLeod was a newcomer to computing and a Space Invader student. This year, he's a teacher.
There's enough people, there's enough educated programmers, there's enough people who are capable of using the various programs individually, but there's not enough people out there that have an overview of the various applications and how they can be integrated.
Holy, 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 holy.
So what we try and do is creatively reach a new integration of the various medias.
Every day something new happens to multimedia. You are able to improve digital video, you are able to improve digital sound. So it is not a stationary media like pen and paper. So in terms of it being the final media, yes, I think it will have an immense impact.
It's one measure of the program's success that the first year's graduates virtually all found full-time jobs in multimedia soon after graduating. And remember, they had just 10 months of formal training. Traditional universities, please take note.